Hey, HadesOmega here. It's the next day, and so let's go take a look at these solar panels, and I'll show you some things that I kind of learned. Okay, so one thing is the sun will not the sun moves throughout the year. Okay, or more like we move around the sun type of thing. Okay, and I found a cool app that kind of shows that. But anyway, it's like 10 o'clock right now, and this is what the solar panel looks like. Okay, so that's a no-go. Okay, so what I learned is that any kind of shade on the solar panel will bring it down. Okay, so that's probably why a reason not to have too big a solar panel, because if any of the solar panel is in the shade, it will not make any power. So if we had like if we had 6 smaller panels, right, then the panels that are in the shade wouldn't make any power, but the ones that were fully in the sun would make power. Okay, but because, well, right now only like almost half of the panel is in the sun, so this thing isn't making any power. Okay, and I got a video that it said it was putting out like 1 watt of power. So if there's any shade on any of your solar panels, it will not make power. Okay, or it will not make as much power, is what I want to say. so even at like 11 o'clock, when it is 90% of the panel, like yesterday, 90% of the panel being exposed to the sunlight, it still doesn't make any power. Okay, because it only makes as much power as the weakest panel. Okay, so but in this case, all the panels are shaded. So what HadesOmega learned also is putting this in parallel will not make a difference. Because since all of the panels are shaded, it affects all of them. Okay, so like really, there's not a lot of power. And that has to do with like the placement of the solar panels and the way the trajectory of the sun. Okay, and I can show you that with a cool app I found. But yeah, if there's any kind of shade on it, so like in a situation where the parallel connection would work for this, is if, like, let's say 1 or 2 of the panels were in the shade and the other one were fully exposed to the sunlight. Okay, and now in that case, parallel would work. Okay, so the one that was in the sun would be putting out full power. All right, or like more power than the other ones, and it wouldn't bring the whole system down. Okay, but in this case, putting it in parallel will not help us, because all the panels are in the shade. There's a shadow on all of the panels. Okay, but there's a good thing about this. Okay. Yeah, right now we're not making any eating up power. My battery bank is almost fully drained now. It eats up a lot of power, that freaking refrigerator. Maybe I should just turn it off and see how much. But anyway, I've got this app that I downloaded the other day. Sun Position Demo, okay? And with this, I could use augmented reality to figure out where the sun will go. Okay, so if I look up here, what? So there's the sun right there. Okay, so that's the path of the sun. All right, so if I go over here, okay, so if we look over here, yeah, I have to like be in the room. All right, so if we look over here at 5 o'clock, the sun comes up. Okay, it's sunrise. Okay. And then it starts to continue this way, okay? So it actually is like in a bad part. it rises in the bad part, is what I'm gonna say. Okay? So until about 11 o'clock, there's no power, okay? Because the sun, it rises over here, unfortunately. Okay, so until about 11 o'clock, the sun comes up overhead, and then it goes over there. And then, like, yeah, we get full sunlight until it comes down. But, like, yeah, around, like, 12 or 3, the solar panels are, like, fully in the sun, and they're in the right angle and everything. And then maybe around 3, we start to lose power because, like, it's not at the right angle, but it's still in the sun. Okay, until about 8 o'clock almost. Okay, so also another thing I learned, I got another app. Okay, so I got another app called SunPath, and so this is a kind of like a top-down view of our house. Okay, that's what this is. And there's different sun paths you can see here. All right, there's a summer one, and there's a winter one. Okay, the summer is the red one right here, and the winter one is the blue one here. Okay, so throughout the year, the sun's trajectory changes. Okay, like I said, it's not the sun that's moving. It's actually us that's moving around the sun. But we'll just say the way the sun moves. That's my house right there, and yeah, so the sun rises here. Okay, so if I look at this, it rises over there. All right, but it looks like by the time it becomes winter time, the sun will start rising over here. All right, this part. According to this map here, okay? According to this map here, the sun will slowly start rising every day in the front of the house, okay? But that's in the winter time. So the only saving grace for the way I position the panels is that in the winter time, we'll actually have more, we'll start making more power at the beginning of the day. I just want to say, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So yeah, then it'll pretty much have sunlight when the sun first comes up. So in the summertime, it's going to be really bad. Yeah, in the summer, by the time we hit summer, this is gonna get worse. Okay, this shadow thing. As we get closer to the fall, probably like right around here-ish, it'll get better. So we'll just have to wait. The good thing is, I mean, the bad thing is in the summertime we won't be making as much power, and that's the best time to make power, okay? However, in the wintertime, we will be producing more power for longer, but probably not as much power because we'll get less sunlight because it's wintertime, you know, right? We're not as close to the sun, so it kind of balances out. That's what I'm gonna say. The only thing to really counter this is to install more panels. I hate to say it, Ed. What I'm thinking is, see over there, we could install 3 more panels over there. Okay, but instead of going vertical like this one, we can go horizontal. Okay. And right over there will be better. It will have less shade, okay? Because this is so close to the wall. So lessons learned: when you install a solar panel, try not to install it next to something, okay? Try to make sure it's out in the open, okay? If this second floor wasn't here, then it would be okay, you know. Or I should have put this on the second floor. Then we wouldn't have this shading problem. Okay, so these panels do not make power until like about noon, so it sucks. Because if any of the panel is in the shade, it makes no power. This is what I've learned, okay? I cannot believe it's that bad though. It's like right now you would think the panel would make some power because half of it is in like the direct sunlight, but no, it doesn't. It's like kind of like it's like there's like a roadblock on a road, you know, type of thing. It slows it down a lot. So what I'm thinking is like, yeah, I'm thinking of buying another like 2 or 3 panels and then putting it in parallel with this one. Okay, so that way, in the morning, these don't make as much power. These don't really make any power in the morning, but those, if I put panels over there, they'll make power like all day, pretty much. And yeah, that's the only way we could really get around this. So I thought putting it in parallel would help, but it won't. Okay. The best thing to do would be to just move it, move it over there, I guess. But these won't fit over there, I think. Sort of, kind of. That is the conclusion to my shading video. We're kind of screwed. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay. I would have been able to make more power if we shifted the panels a little farther away from the wall. Okay. It's the walls. The wall is the problem. Okay. But in the wintertime, these panels will make more power throughout the day because the sun will rise over here. Okay. Instead. It'll rise over here and it'll just kind of fall back there somewhere. So maybe at the end of the day, we might not be making any power. So, yeah. So all I could say is like, hey, we'll just have to track it. I was thinking of putting them in parallel, but now I figured I did some research and it's not going to help because all the panels are in the shade. That's the problem. Okay, so yeah, I will be on the lookout for some more solar panels. So that's a bummer, but that's okay. I mean, like, I didn't really pay a lot to put up this system, so it's fine. I'm sure it'll pay it off soon. But like, it just kind of sucks that, yeah, man, we could be making like probably double the power if the sun like rose over there, you know. So that's one thing you got to be careful. I didn't know. What I should have done is I should have looked at this app. Okay. I should have looked at this app and find out where the sun exposure is. Okay, it's no wonder like we're not making any power until like noon. So, so that sucks. I knew the charge curve should be like a bell curve, but it's not. So, it's like a slide. That's what it is. It starts off at full power and then it just goes downhill from there the rest of the day. So that's a bummer. What I'll do is we'll get more panels. That's what I'll do. If we get 3 more panels and put them on the roof, then I think that'll be fine. So HadesOmega will be on the lookout for more solar panels. And it would be easy. Since all this stuff is up here already, all I got to do is install the panels over there, put them in series, and then run an extension cord all the way here with run extension cord to the rail here, make a conduit that goes out here, and then connect and then use those branch connectors I bought, and then put it in parallel with this one. Okay, so when this one isn't making power, that one will. So if I had solar panels over there, those would be making power right now. Okay, so that's a bummer. All right, here's we go.